So the inner-outer quadrant, the chameleon personality, how do we go deep if we've got all of this energy and all these strengths, but these strengths and energy can become a weakness? That's a great question. It's being able to understand each one of the energy bases and being able to balance those and use those in the proper way. The inner-outer quadrant personality, in doing top-level executive and sales coaching and team coaching for over 20 years all over the world, what I have found is that the inner-outer quadrant personality can be the most challenging to coach because they do have so many energy bases that they are often confused internally and confusing to other people, and they have special unique gifts and energy bases that the normal average person doesn't have. And so an understanding of all four personalities is critical to our success as a chameleon personality. So we need to understand the analytical and need to understand that energy base. When that energy base is being used properly with the expressive energy base, those two coming together create some of the most amazing creative ideas. Some other tips that will help is when we look at the different personalities and how to have the team really function in the most effective manner, typically you're going to start out in idea creation with the expressive personality. The energy, the excitement, brainstorming. Let's get all of these ideas out on the table. What should we do? Now, the expressive is naturally gifted in that. The other three personalities need to submit to the expressive personality and say, now's the time for brainstorming. It's not a time to get into the details. There's no good ideas, bad ideas. We're not going to decide which idea is the best right here and now. It's just a time for ideas. Once we get those thousands of ideas out, then the driver personality kicks in because they have the ability to see global things, and they can get up 30, 40,000, 50,000 feet and look down and say, okay, of these 1,000 ideas, these are the three that'll work. And they can figure it out. They have natural giftedness to do that. When we move into phase two of in being able to go through that, the other three need to submit to the driver personality. So for us to see success, we need to learn to submit. If we're an inner-outer quadrant personality, we need to learn when do we use the different energy bases in the most efficient way. Once the driver kicks in and says, okay, here are the best 2 or 3 ideas, take those best 2 or 3 ideas and move them to the analytical. The analytical will then go through and say, okay, here's how we do it. Specific step 1, 2, 3, subpoint 1, 2, 3, D, E, F. So it's being able to go through and really flesh out all the very strong details. The analyticals are very good at that. The driver's not, they don't like it, and the expressive is not, they don't like it as well. And so when we go into the analytical break it down into small pieces. The amiable, we've learned that one of their greatest strengths is their tenacity, i.e. their stubbornness, and so they tend to be good executors if the team is all bought in and if we're all on the same page, moving in the same direction, and they have clarity of what they ought to do. So step 4, phase 4 with the amiable is in the implementation. So expressive, driver, analytical, and then amiable with the execution. When we move to each step, each one of the other 3 personalities need to submit. And so if we have all of those 4 energy bases in us, we need to be more cautious of how we use that energy. We can bring tremendous amount of value to a situation, an organization, a team, a mastermind group, a networking group, or we can take a lot of that away. It's really our choice once we're trained in it. So it's confusing. We're not going to learn everything in just this one session. it's really a journey. As I have been studying this for over 2 decades, the more I know about personality masteries, the more I know I don't know. So it's really a journey in going forward. So we trust that you're enjoying this journey, and we look forward to the next part of the journey and traveling that with you. Have a great day.